You finally made the leap. You landed in Asia excited for a fresh start, lower costs, and a slower pace of life, but within a week, you're already thinking about buying property. Why? Because that voice in your head, the one you brought from back home, keeps whispering, if you're not buying, you're wasting money. In America, home ownership is sold as the holy grail. It's how you build wealth, secure your future, and prove you are doing everything right. But overseas, that same mindset can get you trapped financially, legally, even emotionally. I've seen people drop 6 figures on condos they've never even lived in just to chase a feeling of security. And in most cases, it backfires on them. So today, I want to challenge that idea and explain why renting month to month is often the smartest move you can make as an expat or digital nomad. It's not just cheaper, it's safer, smarter, and gives you something that's almost impossible to buy: freedom. Let me break it all down. In the US, home ownership is practically its own religion. We're raised to believe it's the goal. Work hard, buy a house, and you're set for life. Most Americans would have no retirement savings at all if it wasn't for 2 things: selling their oversized house later in life and collecting Social Security. Property is the nest egg, the plan, the legacy to leave behind. But this assumes you're living in the same city or state forever. It assumes stability, not movement. And for people considering life abroad, that mindset can backfire hard. Because in many countries, especially in Southeast Asia, buying property as a foreigner isn't simple. In Thailand, for example, foreigners can't own land. You can buy a condo, but land is off limits. In Indonesia, land is technically all owned by the state. In Vietnam, foreigners can only lease land for 50 years. And even when you can buy property, it's often through different type of loopholes or partnerships that come with risk. You're handing over large amounts of cash into a system that you barely understand, often relying on local agents or lawyers who may not have your best interests in mind. Plus, there are restrictions, taxes, and ownership rules that can change overnight with a new government. Now imagine that instead you rent, not on a 1-year lease, not on a locked-in expat package, but month to month. You find a place, you pay 1 to 2 months upfront, and that's it. No mortgage, no long-term risk, no getting yourself stuck. If you don't like it, move the next month. I've lived this way for years. In Kuala Lumpur, I paid $350 for a full apartment. Gym, balcony, fast Wi-Fi in a walkable area. In Cambodia, I rented a 1-bedroom for $100. Utilities were another $20, and the internet was included. It was month to month. There was zero stress. Let's say you decide to leave and spend 3 months in Thailand or Vietnam instead. You don't have to sell anything. You don't have to break a lease. You just pack your bag and go. That's real freedom. When you rent, your money stays liquid. You can invest in things that matter: your business, your skills, your savings. You avoid getting tied up in volatile foreign housing markets. You can explore more neighborhoods, more cities, more countries. Plus, when you want to rent for a month at a time, you get to test drive a lifestyle. You might think you want to live in the heart of Bangkok, but after a month, you realize you'd rather be in Chiang Mai anyway. That's what renting lets you discover. You adapt, you change. In Vietnam, I booked a hotel for my arrival day. The next morning, I walked around, saw a sign on a fence, apartment for rent, called the number, toured the place, moved in the same day. 1-month deal, $200, fully furnished, internet, AC, balcony, all included. In Cambodia, a similar story. I found a studio through a Facebook group. I messaged the landlord, no deposit. I paid for 30 days up front. I stayed there for 6 months. No paperwork, no contract, no realtors. These places were clean, secure, in good neighborhoods, and they gave me the space to explore my options without a full commitment. Buying property overseas might sound exciting, but it ties you down to something you don't even know. Let's say you invest $100,000 in a condo in Thailand. Now what? You're on the hook for taxes, maintenance, maybe property management too. You have to trust locals to manage it or rent it the way you want it done when you're away. And good luck selling quickly if you change your mind. I've met expats who rushed to buy because it felt like the right move. A year later, they hated the area or even the country, changed visa rules, or their lifestyle needs shift. Now they're stuck with an asset they can't unload. Let's talk about the common pushbacks that I get when I talk about this. Renting is throwing money away, not when it gives you freedom. Renting in Asia often costs 80% less than rent in the West. It's not a waste, it's flexibility. But I want to invest, fine. But consider safer, more familiar options. You can build wealth through index funds in your home country, online businesses, or side hustles. Property abroad is riskier easier than you think unless you deeply understand the local market. What if I want to settle down eventually? Then rent first. Learn the area, live there for a year, build local connections. Once you're confident, then maybe buying makes sense. If you want to rent month to month, here's how I usually find places. The first is Facebook Marketplace and groups. Search in your housing groups in your target city. Post what you're looking for and people will even reach out to you. The second is walking around. Seriously, show up, pick a neighborhood you like, and look for signs. Some of the best spots aren't even listed online. The third is Airbnb, but I messaged the host directly to get the monthly discounts. The fourth is Booking.com. Filter for long stays, then message the property. The fifth is word of mouth. Talk to the people you know. You'd be surprised how often someone knows a landlord who's looking for someone respectful and quiet for a long-term lease. So here's the bottom line. If you're thinking about moving to Asia or retiring abroad, forget the idea that you have to buy right away. Renting month to month lets you live freely, move easily, learn the area, avoid the stress, and most importantly, make smart decisions after you understand the local lifestyle. If this helped you think differently, hit like and drop a comment. What's your biggest worry about renting abroad long term? Let's talk about it. And if you want to see how far your money goes in Southeast Asia, check out my video on what $1,000 buys versus $3,000 in the US. I give real life numbers, real places, and a breakdown of costs you actually can live on. Quick behind the scenes note here. A few of you asked if I had merch, so I went ahead and put some together. They're simple, clean designs that I would actually wear while traveling or filming myself. It helps support the channel directly, and yeah, it looks pretty good too. Links in the description and pinned comment below if you want to take a peek for yourself. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.